Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Ace and Ektar Heroes of the Storm casting podcast. I'm still Ektar, and he's still Ace. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hey, thank goodness. We're how many episodes do you think we're on? Like 20 something?
I don't think we've quite hit the 20 mark yet. Maybe if you if you include the off-season events, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably accurate because we did like a little under a dozen last year. I think it was like 10 with both of us. We did some off-season events. This is our second of this season.
Yeah, so I think we probably
we did some in season 6 as well, or
we weren't
7.
calling it the casting podcast.
That is true. That is
true. That was definitely a season 8 thing.
That is true. So,
but
yeah,
we've got a good one tonight. We've got Zul'jin Distillery versus I Must Feed. They played each other during the regular season last year. Zul'jin Distillery took that 2-1 over I Must Feed, and the rosters are exactly the same, so look to see another close match today.
Yeah, that's exciting. Always good to get a nice matchup. I know we've scrimmed against I Must Feed once, and that was a little bit one-sided, but we've seen them in the Zul'jin Distillery Invitational, I believe.
I believe you're correct.
So they probably did some matches there. If you have that Discord, you could probably, pull the results from there. So
no intention
it looks
of doing
to
that.
be, that's a-okay. Regardless, it should be a nice matchup out of D East.
Yeah. Now that
D East is the only non-double round robin division because D West is and E is, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So, of all of the divisions in the newly reformed Div D and E chat, D East is the only non-round robin one.
Double round robin, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. All of them are
Cool.
round robin.
Cool. So, we had a patch today, Ektar. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday, which is apparently patch day nowadays. For some reason, Tracer and Cassia got suddenly reworked.
I mean, they got fancy new skins. They're no longer the same hero.
They did, in fact, get fancy new skins.
To be fair,
the Cassia one's really good. I haven't seen the Tracer
I
one
like
yet.
both of them. The Tracer one, I think, is even better than the Cassia one, and the Cassia one's still pretty dang good. I think they're both actually pretty excellent. Pretty excellent one. If you ask me, there's a. Have you gone into try mode and played with her in the the new skin?
I haven't played with either of the reworked heroes today.
So Charge Strikes on Cassia is the
the active on one, right?
Right. They changed it where every third attack hits adjacent heroes.
Okay.
And her little spear, which is a lightning bolt, like Zeus, glows with electricity.
Oh,
like
cool.
It up and down every third auto, so it's like and it's a really cool effect. I like it. I wish it added the little trait thing in the bottom left, like for Samuro and Leoric.
Yeah, that was nice. But I mean, they have things like that for talent abilities. So
they
it's
do.
Not
they
outside
do.
the realm of possibility.
Yeah, like
Anywho,
Rag Meteor.
Anywho, we haven't said a word about the match yet. Besides, the two teams that are playing it, and we're already into the drafting screen. We were in the lobby. We didn't talk about map picks and bans, not even a little bit. It is up on the screen for that entire time, but if you're actually listening to this in podcast form, welcome, congratulations. But also, the coin toss was won by I Must Feed. Opted for first hero pick. Zul'jin Distillery banned out BOE. I Must Feed banned out Infernal Shrines. How dare you? Zul'jin Distillery banned out Cursed Hollow. I Must Feed banned out Dragonshire. We're playing game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And we've got some real standard bans coming out now from both teams. Greymane Kel'Thas.
That's a little less standard
Melf
right
is
there.
a bit less standard.
He's good, but
Joe's like the quintessential, I don't have anything else I feel like I need to ban hero.
Yeah. I mean, as we mentioned today, patch, nerf Zool, nerf Deathwing again.
Yep.
So I think especially Deathwing is no longer first ban territory. I think Zool, at least on this map, is probably still first ban territory. Just because he's so good and wave clears amazing. Yeah.
Towers of Doom is a nutso map.
For
double soaking. So Zool, Leo, all of them get huge value on that map.
Yep, I tend to agree with you there. So, yep, well, but nonetheless, we'll see Zul'jin Distillery take the
Zool. Got buffed today.
Oh, he did. I don't remember the talents, although I know Ruby got buffed, which makes both of us
got its cooldown
very
cut in half.
Oh.
20 to 10 seconds. That's literally like every W. Can have a Ruby on it. That's so nuts.
Oh, that's so amazing. Those mini potions are the best.
They gave him a level 20 talent at level 4.
Yeah.
It's not all of the value of perfect gems because that also reduces his W cooldown, but the gem part of it, it's literally his 20 effect.
Yeah, that's
incredible.
Bonkers. I want to see Deckard Cain engages. You can engage with NW now with there are other heroes that are occurring, but this is a Ruby stream now.
Yeah.
You can engage by just plopping the slow root combo, and then everybody jumps on top, and you've got 5-6 potions. It's amazing.
Looking over at I Must Feed side, I'm almost certain I've got the teams on the wrong side. I'm gonna have to swap this in just a sec, but Zool Mal'Ganis Jaina is so terrifying to me.
Yeah, that's real scary. Mal'Ganis is a good hero. Didn't take any hits in the patch today.
Yep.
So
Jaina hasn't taken anything. Zool, I don't think they hurt him where he's good. So I think he just is still fantastic.
Yep.
Mephisto has just been skyrocketing in popularity, and I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's really cool. Kind of...
I like seeing Mephisto, and I like being able to play against Mephisto because I think he's really punishable.
Yeah, I agree.
As a spectator, I like seeing him. He's a big playmaker.
My favorite thing to do is take Chromium to Mephisto and then loop him after he does his little stupid dance thing. He walks out like, "Whoa, I'm a invincible," and then you just loop him and he pops back and then he unpops back. He's like, "Uh-oh, he's dead."
Deathwing and Ring are getting picked up for I Must Feed, and that's pretty scary. Though Deathwing did get nerfed, in particular his level 4, the AoE damage after W if you hit heroes got nerfed, and also his 7s got changed, and his aura got nerfed again. Yep.
He I think it was Skyfall got some talent rolled over into some other stuff.
Yeah, Skyfall got moved into the one that drops meteors when you land instead of dropping meteors from the sky all the time.
Yeah. Yep. God, Mephisto's bottom 25 to 30, definitely bottom third of the popularity chart, but I see him all the time right now.
Are you filtering by win rate?
I am filtering by pick rate percent. Pick rate percent, not popularity.
I was by rank of players was going to be my actual question.
Let me do Diamond Master Platinum because I think
some heroes shift dramatically in ranks.
Yeah, he goes down at higher levels.
Alrighty.
So, yeah.
Well, we have now spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks Zul'jin Distillery, with D-Whip playing Diablo, Beefrush playing Phoenix, Cowboy Kyle playing Leoric, Led playing Deckard Cain, and Ankle Shot playing Mephisto.
And in the red trunks on the right side of the map, we have I Must Feed with John Goodman feeding on Mal'Ganis, Sudden Bears on Zool, Miles on Deathwing, Lister Fiend on Jaina, and Night Knight, the real one, on Rhaegar.
Yeah, there's a lot of fake Night Knights out there.
I'm amazed how many there are.
So checking out the level 1 talents, we do have Devil's Due and Ossian Renewal coming out for the tanks. Deathwing looks to still be going into the melee build, so not concerned about the nerfs. And actually going Vampiric Aura, which I think is a bit of a strange choice for the Feed Master himself.
Yep, that is, I think it's reasonable, especially with Zool, who can get that cleaving auto attack. So
a lot of damage put out onto both teams. A little more evenly put. Yeah. A lot of AoE damage was put into Zul'jin Distillery, but Mal'Ganis got brought down to below 150 hit points.
Yeah, he got real chunked out there. I didn't see the whole thing because I was hotkeying, which is unusual, but Night Knight is going to get picked off in the top lane as D-Wick gets a nice shadow charge into the wall, and that's first blood for Zul'jin Distillery.
Very quick first blood, too. Continuing to mention talents, we do have the Q quest coming out from Phoenix, which is definitely not... Oh, big stun combo coming out onto Mal'Ganis. That's going to be the second uncontested kill going over in favor of Zul'jin Distillery.
Yep, that's the Diablo aggression comp can work pretty well if you're just looking for the picks, punish the walls. There's a lot of places to hit, but just gotta be careful and you don't overextend once you feel that surge of power that playing Diablo can feel sometimes.
Curse bringing out a really good point. That Phoenix is definitely kind of the sore thumb for Zul'jin Distillery. One hero away from the full Diablo comp.
Yep, that gives an extra 10% damage just straight to your entire team. So nice. So yeah, that would have been pretty neat, but no, they opted not for that fake bonus there.
Yep. They opted to take the strategy that in fact actually exists in picking heroes that are good and not lying to their audience in any way.
Nope, wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do that.
Ruby!
Yes, we got it!
Look at all of that potential healing coming out from Deckard Cain. There wasn't actually anyone low enough to pick up the healing right there, but you can do it every W. Look, that's the next W. He's already got more mini potions.
Oh, this is so...
That talent has always been good for throughput.
Yeah.
Like, that's never been the issue. It's just you can't get it consistently. But now you can get it so consistently. I always wanted that talent to be great, and I think it actually is now.
Yeah, I think it's real good as Mal'Ganis gets taken out again.
They are losing a bit of XP in the mid lane, but only losing, I think, a couple of minions there. But the 3 kills is making up for it in a pretty big way at this point.
Yeah, and the turn-in will help as well as it comes in here for Zul'jin Distillery. So, yeah, that's a quick 3-minute Web Weaver phase, so not a whole lot going to get done, to be fair.
Normally,
but we'll see how the teams work.
Until about the time that teams are hitting level 8 or 9, sometimes not even until level 10 hits. So this is a very quick first Web Weaver. T-Hwit trying to get some damage in there, but gets forced back by Mal'Ganis.
Yep, and yeah, we'll have to see how the teams operate under the new towers. They did make some important changes to those today that reduce their damage just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of frustration as well.
Big root for Deckard Cain, and with the field study on 1 means that's also a lot more heal throughput for the next little bit here.
On the mini potions.
And on the mini potions.
There's a game here, but it's just the Observe the Ruby stream now.
Yeah,
Web Weavers are pushing uncontested in mid and being defensed well by Sudden Bears at the bottom, but they have lost
the... those potions.
Wow!
That's an ancestral worth of potions, I guarantee it.
Go, D-Wit, go! Oh, no.
Left behind.
What a shame. What a shame.
But they did get the well. They got most of the front wall mid, and in the bot lane, a little bit of damage.
Front wall. Yeah, 3 front walls and 1 well is... I'll take that for a first Web Weaver. That's 1,000-ish XP off walls. And, yeah,
it's
I'll take
literally every time he casts his W, there's potions coming out, and it's just amazing.
The drinking game of this one is going to be how many times we mention Ruby, or the effects of Ruby. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it either unless you're drinking with, like, water.
Yeah, we do have Diablo picking up Skyfall still, even after the nerf. So no longer getting to land quicker, but still getting the heal, still getting interrupts if he gets the vision. I don't know that that's going to be the standard talent necessarily anymore because of the change. Like, it'll still be really good on Cursed Hollow and other, you know, channel this for time maps, but I really do think that the other one, where the meteors drop, is going to just be better overall now.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. D-Wait gets rooted in the bottom lane, does get the overpower onto Sudden Bears, but it doesn't quite knock him far enough back to cause his imminent demise, so he'll walk away and live to harvest the dead.
I really like Speed picking up this camp. That could definitely buy them enough time to get their turn in. Although, if they do, it's likely still that their opponents are going to get 10 before them, and it's really bad to be in a position where your opponents are level 10 and you're not, but you get the turn in, because that's basically just a free clear for them.
Yeah, it does kind of prevent the like level 10 advantage from your opponent coming out, but they've negated your objectives, so
We have a big
yeah,
engage coming in with that Cataclysm getting popped. Miles doing some pretty good damage. Dehuit having to walk away. But really, it's just going to force him to back up, maybe tap a little bit. And they're trying to make room for their turn, but Ankle Shot is just kind of stepping forward, and no one is stopping him from doing that.
yeah, that's Mephisto power right there, is just being able to walk in, or shade in rather. He gets the trickery on 7 to give him move speed, so he can reposition his lightning a little bit better.
Seem to be disconnecting just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. All right. Doesn't look like we missed anything too much. Level 10's hitting now.
Yeah.
Pretty standard ult, so we do have Durance, which I've been seeing more often, so it's
I think
unsurprising.
it's standard at this point.
Outside of Brawl,
The CCF provides. Yeah, of course. Brawl meta is an exceptionally different meta. Oh, John Goodman's in a little bit of a trouble. What am I kidding? He is not in trouble. He's actually making an engage happen now. With the 3-man sleep, Zool Sneeze comes out. Stay away from that. Deckard Cain, however, going to counter-engage with a sleep into the APOC, hitting 4 members out of 4. Durance coming out next, but I don't really see that going too well. Mephisto's down, traded for Zool, and 2 more for I Must Feed, and Zul'jin Distillery takes that 3-to-1 kill advantage for the time being.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more than that.
Yeah, can we make it 5?
We sure can. That is 5 kills for nothing going over in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. They're turning in. I want to see him get a boss before they finish that turn-in.
I don't think they can. I think they can take a siege camp.
Maybe you're right. It's
Bottom lane,
a little bit early to try.
Really short death timers.
Yeah, so they will take this camp and push out the lanes a little bit and then get their turn in nice and safe. They are starting bruisers as well. Mephisto not the greatest at taking camps, but they'll have it available and they'll be able to finish it safely before the web weavers come down.
Yeah, I don't even think they're going to get this. They might get this bruiser camp, but it's cost Ankle Shot a lot of his health. And a little bit of time that they could have been using to push out some of the waves here. So, might have been a case of a bit too much getting done, but nonetheless, there weren't a lot of wrong decisions in that scenario. LED's in a little bit of trouble, or Lead. A little bit of trouble at Hillscape, and Night will also take a little damage.
Yeah, top web weaver spawning kind of far back, but the bruiser camp is spawning with this web weaver, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just decided to push mid for the time being, because that spell armor is pretty significant.
Yeah, 20 of it's pretty good. Nice 4-man sleep from John Goodman, and a big bite from Deathwing does a lot of damage, but Deathwing's actually in a bit of trouble. Sleep APOC again coming in. Rhaegar going to be taken out first. Mal'Ganis going to go for that Carrion Swarm, but it's going to get CC'd afterwards. Not quite the overpower, though.
Yeah, it's just missing the Durance because of that Shadow Charge. That is going to be mid fort going down, bot fort going down, and top fort is not long for this world, so... The web weaver's down, they've only got the camp pushing in this mid lane, so they probably can't do a lot more, but, you know, they could probably get to the wall for the XP. Definitely coming in with the big burn beneath my shadow, but just using it for wave clear purposes, really.
Yeah, it does kind of create that zone where Zul'jin Distillery had to leave. There could be no further damage done there, but only not a whole lot coming of it. Webweaver's now cleared in top, and Zul'jin Distillery rotates to the bottom lane, goes ahead, supports the wave, gets one of the towers.
There he goes.
Okay, don't make me a liar, good. And they'll look to the bruiser camp with the level 13 advantage.
Yeah, and I think that it's likely I Must Feed knows that they're here, but also understand that they can't do anything about it, so they're just going to let that go ahead. Level 13's picked up. I hadn't actually been showing talents that whole time. We do have Mega Potions coming out from Deckard Cain. Shard of Hate, I don't think... Is that the standard, do you think, for...
I keep seeing this all the time now. So there's... I think there are 3 talents here. There's the Skull Build, there's the Skull Missile gives spell power,
right.
There's Hysteria, which lowers all cooldowns, but then there's this new one that I've seen more and more lately as Zul'jin Distillery heads up towards this boss. We'll talk about Shard of Hate in just a minute, actually.
Yeah, as we see, there is likely to be a team fight. Big stay a while coming out.
Wow.
Happy Feet Wombo combo. Easy 4-man kill there. Miles might be able to get out. He used... yeah, he might be able to get out with this ult, but... Oof. That was a huge engagement that just started from just to stay a while into kill everything. Really good discipline on them to not wake everyone up before the APOC lands.
Yeah, absolutely. That was really well done. They started on the boss, then decided to bait by sitting in the bushes, and Deckard Cain told them a nice story and then killed them in their sleep. So, oof.
Yeah, not much more you can really say about that. That was just really well played by Zul'jin Distillery, having the foresight to stop that boss call when it happened. Oh, nice Entomb. Doesn't actually land on Sudden Bears, but with the other wall providing the blocking, actually got him almost all the way down. He does get popped back up by the Ancestral Healing. That might be the first Ancestral we've seen this game, as Night Knight's just been getting blown up this game.
Yeah, and every, I mean, when it's this big wombo combo style, you haven't had a whole lot of chance. Sudden Bears, again, in a really bad spot. Durance lands out on a John Goodman. He gets taken out as well, and Boss continuing to ravage. This top keep still above half health. And if they wanted to, they can back out. They can keep engaging. They can do a lot of right decisions with enough gems to turn in.
Oof. Miles is having a really rough game today. He landed in the middle of Zul'jin Distillery, and Zul'jin Distillery said, okay, we're going to take half of your health now. And
yeah,
Miles had to run away. Then he tries to engage again and just has the other half of his health taken away from him. And it's just really... The Deathwing has really not been working out here.
Yeah, I don't think a lot did, though. Last kill picked up just in time for I Must Feed, but is a shadow of the victory for Zul'jin Distillery.
Yeah, that was a pretty decisive game there.
That was a nice wombo combo they put together there, with the Stay a While and Apocalypse combo being the main factors of it, but also the Purification Salvo to hit everybody else afterwards. It was great combo.
Yeah. And checking out the summary stream that I have remembered to stay on for possibly the first time.
Hey.
Yeah. Damage numbers are actually not looking very dissimilar between the two teams. Healing numbers, there's a gigantic disparity. As I kind of mentioned during the game, I think there was only one Ancestral that landed, so Deckard pumping out literally twice the heals that Rhaegar was.
Yeah, that's what happens when, you know, your team's not in the Hall of Storms. Hall of Storms is a good healer, too.
That's true, and it doesn't get tracked on the endgame screen.
Yeah. Blizzard! Blizzard! I want Hall of Storms healing. So yeah, it's gonna be... I expect a Deckard ban next game.
I still want them to bring back damage taken stat.
Please, Blizzard, for real.
Yeah, it's a genuinely useful stat.
People will misinterpret it, but they'll misinterpret every stat.
It's true. Stats never lie, but people can use stats to tell lies.
Mm-hmm. What is it? There's lies, damn lies, and statistics. So, yeah.
So what can we learn, do you think, about the teams from that last game?
Don't let Zul'jin Distillery get that wombo combo. Even if they, you know, if you're I Must Feed, even if you lose again, just make them beat you in a different way. I'd go with the Deckard ban, work from there, and then you know, try again with something that you're comfortable on.
Yeah. And after the nerfs, I really think that Deathwing is not a just kind of slot him into any given team where he's not banned out kind of a hero anymore. Like before, he was strong but had specific counters. Now I think he is more of a specific counter than a general hero.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that, especially
like if you have like if you have last pick for your bruiser and they don't have one of the tank shredders, then maybe you're like, all right, we'll slot a Deathwing in here. But he's definitely not a build around hero like he was before. He is your opponent has already not built around him hero.
Yeah. Yep. Excuse me. So, yeah, that game came to a rapid conclusion. One minute we were talking about Shard of Hate and its popularity, because I've seen it a bunch lately, and then all of a sudden the game was over. It's
Yeah.
like, wow.
That's the way that the cookie crumbles, though. Like, sometimes you just have a pretty big advantage, but not an insurmountable one. And then that same team wins another massive team fight and the game ends.
Yeah. Yep, that is, that's how it works. We have any info for the next map yet?
I just got invited to a lobby, so now I know what the map is. Do you care to wager any guesses? Never mind, you're already here.
Wouldn't have gotten it. I would not have said Alterac Pass.
Yeah, and now
If
the
I had
stream
about
knows what it
5
is,
guesses.
too.
Yeah. If I had 5 guesses, that would have been the second to last one.
You know, 5 guesses, does that even get you all the way? I think that still
Yeah.
leaves you with the possibility of not having...
No, there are 2 bands and
no,
1
you're
pick
right.
so far out of 10. So...
Yeah, not the world's most popular map.
I agree with that.
However, it might be one of the ones that's lesser affected by the map changes, in my opinion. So maybe that's a reason to consider this map. It doesn't have any core changes applied to it because it already had a unique core. And also, I think that the maps where an objective spawns in all 3 lanes are a little bit less affected because it can do pushing by itself, so it's not quite as affected by the tower targeting changes, so...
Yep.
Or maybe they just have something spicy that they want to do on this weird map.
I like it. I want to see something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, who picked this map? Was this Imus Feed?
This map was chosen by Zul'jin Distillery, Imus Feed opting for first hero pick.
Alrighty. That is fair enough. I'm curious what they've got in mind. I'm like musing, like stroking my chin, like, what could they have in mind for such a map? But I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, which is, I guess, the point of a game.
Yeah, I mean, we could do statistics and guessing all day long, but we have to actually get into the game to see how things shake out, as we do have the draft coming in now. Go ahead and vote in the poll who you think is going to win game number 2, because that's a thing that I suddenly remember that I can do.
Oh. That's even bold to put in the poll to expire before all the picks have been done in the map.
Is it?
In the draft. Yeah. Especially with a 1-minute delay.
Ooh, it's a 30-second delay, so, but...
30-second delay. Yeah, they're going to be like
coming
one
with the
bandit.
26th raid.
Big.
Holy cow, Mark. Thank you so much. How'd your games go? I saw you were casting, I think, a heroic match.
Nice. Very
Got
nice,
another
very nice.
Malfurion band coming out. I wonder if that is a target. It's got to be a target band. Who...
I can't look, Ektar. I can't look.
Sure you can.
I don't have the chat. I'm a spectator, not a referee.
Oh, I see, I see. I mean, I was thinking you could check on, like, Hero's Profile or something.
Yeah, but that's effort. That's a lot more effort than I'm going to put in for trying to figure out that band.
That's reasonable.
Diddle's band.
That's reasonable. Diablo did a lot of work in that previous game.
I'm still surprised there's no Deckard ban, I guess. I don't know. The Diablo is a follow-up, which I guess if you remove the auto-targeting follow-up, I guess that's fine, but I would be very surprised if Zul'jin Distillery does not grab the Deckard right here, right now.
Well, if they don't, they can always either pick or ban it away before their next round of picks, so...
That is an option, but we saw him take it in first round earlier. What do I know? It's Stukov.
Stukov and Tychus, which is a kind of an interesting early pickup. I don't think Tychus had any changes today. Stukov, I don't think got any changes today.
Neither of them did.
And neither Greymane did not either. But Greymane's just kind of been strong for a little while now, so I like a Greymane pick in most comps.
Yeah, because he can play that auto attack role, but also can play a little bit more of a divey role. He can fit into a lot of comps. So
Now there's a hero that got some changes today. Anduin.
Oh yeah, Ektar, talk to me about those
I've
Anduin
always
changes.
liked Anduin, even though he's got a pretty middling win rate, but he got some good changes today with his level 13s all getting a little bit of extra added functionality because they were all pretty much the same talent before, let's be honest. Desperate Prayer is a lot less bad than it was because it no longer puts your Q on cooldown.
Yeah, it was...
And the level 4 talent that affects his E also roots for longer. I forget what...
Yeah, quarter second longer.
When you E, your next auto attacks deal more damage, I think, and also...
Yeah, it deals damage and heals.
Nice.
I think it heals, like, it's either one hero or heroes around you or something like that for some amount of time. I'm gonna pull that out because I think it's interesting and it might come up in game.
Hefe and Deathwing getting banned out. Ooh, picking up a Varian. And I like that they're doing this. I hope that they don't pick up a soul laner here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a soul laner. They might pick up 2, but...
True, but I like the idea that you pick up Varian and not a solo laner, so you can throw in the question of what Varian is this? I mean, they could still pick... in theory, could still pick up a main tank for Ankle Shot and have offlane Varian, other offlane Leoric, and a main tank, which would be really aggressive, and I think Arthas kind of shuts that down, so if Varian's not the main tank, I think Zul'jin Distillery might be in a bit of trouble. But going into the also buffed today, Orphan.
Yeah, I think it's got some interesting buffs today, especially with their Q downtime.
Yeah.
If you miss, I think that's a big change, as well as some like little talent spicy.
Yeah, because missing a Q on Orphan feels like the worst thing in the world.
Yep.
Because you can't just go in and chomp. You kind of just die if you just walk up and chomp without anything else happening. And E has such a long cooldown that, you know, you throw out your E and then you try to throw out a Q, and if you miss that Q, you have nothing to do for 5 seconds.
Yep. Hey, Ektar, we did get a raid. How did we get here? We should go over how we got here. We should,
in fact, talk about how we got here now that we're just before the game gets started. The coin toss was won by I Must Feed, opting for first hero pick. Zul'jin Distillery banned out Battlefield of Eternity. I Must Feed banned out Infernal Shrine. Zul'jin Distillery banned out Cursed Hollow. I Must Feed banned out Dragonshire. Zul'jin Distillery picked up Tomb of the Spider Queen and won. And then I Must Feed opted for first hero pick again, and we were brought to Alterac Pass by Zul'jin Distillery, spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, with D-Whit playing the Varian, Ankle Shot playing Orphan, Cowboy Kyle playing the Leoric, Lead or LED playing Stukov, and B-Fresh playing Tychus.
And in the red trunks on the right side of the map, we do have I Must Feed. We've got Night Knight on Anduin, Miles playing Greymane, Lister Fiend on Li Ming, Sudden Bears playing Arthas, and John Goodman on the ETC.
Checking out the level 1 talents as we are wont to do. We do have a Lion's Maw Varian, so very likely going to see the main tank, as there are no other potential main tanks out for the side of Zul'jin Distillery, so nice to see that sort of identified that pickup in draft.
No tactical throwing.
No tactical throwing by not opting for a main killer. Anduin has his sword safely swung across his back, not going to be running with scissors this game, but did still go into the bold strategy because that's just the talent that you go. And we have an offlane Arthas build, which is not terribly surprising considering there's an ETC in the game.
Yep, and they'll need the Arthas to go up to, or go down to the bottom lane to soak out. We've got Greymane and Leoric in the top lane. That matchup is Greymane favored for quite a while, actually. So as long as Leo can't step in the lanes and Greymane can just poke him down and never take an E-shot or a spooky hand.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of wall soaking coming out here from Cowboy Kyle. Looks like he already tapped, which is fine considering how early it is in the game. A bit of a weird mid-bot rotation coming up for the side of Zul'jin Distillery. Excuse me. That Coca-Cola is coming back with a vengeance, as we have Zul'jin Distillery on their camp already, but their opponents are matching them in that regard. Although I think that they can't probably take the camp quite as fast, considering they have Li Ming and Anduin, who are like two of the slowest assassin healer combinations for actually taking a camp down.
Yeah, the Arcane Orb at point-blank range hits for, I believe, negative 500 damage.
Yep, heals it up by just a little bit and makes it even harder for you to tank in the future.
Yeah, it's like a vaccination for the camp. It just makes it stronger next time. So, yeah, the mid waves will crash three members for I Must Feed against now a rotating third teammate for Zul'jin Distillery and a new sword or a shield for Varian.
Yep. Don't know where he pulls it out of. I get the swords in either case, but the shield he literally just makes appear from nowhere.
We'll leave that as an exercise to the viewers.
Yeah, we got in the rhythm for Tychus here, so looking to get a lot of trait value as this game goes on, and that's dangerous, because if you just stand there auto-attacking, ETC could just power slide and face melt you into his team, and that's a rough place to be in. Although with him being in the bot lane, you might be able to get stacks on Arthas pretty okay.
Yeah, additionally, if you do get rooted by Arthas, you can just stand there and channel your trait, but yeah, I've been a big fan of the bigger they are in the last couple months, just because it's basically burst for the top 2/3 of a health bar, and that's real good.
Yep. And yes, by orphan, I do mean Orphea, not only because it a play on her name, but also because, like, she's kind of an orphan. Like, she has a father, but she disowned him and stuff, so...
Yeah, it thematically works. It's got some lore to it.
Both
Second
teams
camp, actually.
Really not looking to go in hard on this objective. They both just
do
want the lane.
Do they know it spawned? Do we need to type in chat? Do they know there's an objective here?
Unfortunately, we're not referees, so we cannot tell them how to play the game.
Can't believe it.
The significantly faster camp clear really working in favor of Zul'jin Distillery at this point, though, as they're able to get on the objective with actually no contest coming out from their opponents.
Yeah, I don't think this is even going to come to any kind of fight. At least that will matter for the objective. I Must Feed is only now moving into the point, but there's 5 seconds left on this channel, and it basically makes it a 4v5. Someone's trying to channel the entire time. Night goes ahead, gets the channel, but gets interrupted by DeWitt, and that's first objective over to Zul'jin Distillery.
Yeah, they had rotated Leoric out, so it was effectively a 4 versus 4, but that's still not the greatest position to be in.
Yeah, definitely agree, but yeah, as you mentioned, that faster camp clear was the difference. Their camp came off cooldown first, and then was able to be picked up sooner, so yeah, big importance there on the camp clear time for Zul'jin Distillery.
Yep, and this will be the only time that Cowboy Kyle is actually going to be able to push in on Miles. But much more interesting is the mid lane. Ankle Shot taking a little bit of damage, doing some accidental AoE. DeWitt also doing a little bit. I always wonder if this is maybe a little bit intentional just to take tower shots away from the objective. We do have a combo coming out onto John Goodman, but it's ETC, and he was healthy, so not actually getting anything done. Ankle Shot getting put in a pretty bad spot, but Night not quite able to hit the follow-up Chastise. And yeah, looks like no fort's going to be going down from this objective, just front walls in mid and bot lane, and a little bit of, some pretty decent damage in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's actually like a half-dead fort down there, so, and a 95% dead well in the middle lane.
It's
so
got a shield that'll slowly heal it up a little bit.
It does have a shield, thank goodness. Please add shields to Cores and Brawl. Thank you very much, Blizzard. This is my TED Talk.
I could get into this, but I won't, so...
Good call, good call. Third camp coming up for both teams. They have been diligent about picking up this camp. I'm genuinely impressed. Like, I do not see camps getting picked up this diligently most of the time.
Yeah, especially not for Div D teams. And, I don't want to bring, that kind of talk into these games most of the time, but that's one of the things that tends to fall off the fastest when you get into the lower ranks is camp timings and soak, and both teams have been doing a pretty good job of both of those things.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you see us here level 10, 6 minutes into the game with not a kill to be found. They're doing an excellent job keeping up with the macro of this map, which can get kind of wild at times, especially if you kind of throw in some strange rotations.
A little bit of engagement coming out on the D-Whip, but John Goodman decided he doesn't want to commit to it. Miles goes in, just gets a little bit of poke damage. But we do have the 10s, like you said, picked up for both sides. We do have Parry and Varian. We've got the Entomb, Flailing Swipe, Draken Laser, which is a bit of a surprise, and Crushing Jaws for Zul'jin Distillery.
And we've got Mosh, Army of the Dead, Disintegrate, Go for the Throw, and cool, we got a Light Bomb. That's a little spice potential. That could be good. Sudden Bear's in a little bit of trouble, gets caught by the Jaws, and that finally, first kill of the game. Almost 7.5 minutes in, but what an opportune time for Zul'jin Distillery.
Right as this objective has finished spawning, so going to be probably a relatively easy channel for them. Lister Fiend doing a good job of getting the interrupt with the Disintegrate, which today got its cooldown cut from 30 to 20 seconds, and Wave of Force getting the opposite treatment.
Yeah, and Li Ming goes, do I care? They just have a 0-second cooldown.
Big fact. We already see Disintegrate off cooldown again, although we do see Lehman getting engaged upon pretty hard. A pretty big Light Bomb comes out hitting out of several. Mosh Pit came out as well, but it gets interrupted. And Zul'jin's still kind of on the ropes here.
Yeah, they're in a little bit of trouble, but that Entomb was massive. Absolutely destroys ETC. Sudden Bears on the life grip of Anduin was not enough to save him. And the tank line of I Must Feed falls down in this fight, and that second objective can be secured for Zul'jin Distillery.
Yeah, and it looks like they're considering putting pressure immediately into the bot lane. I think this is a really smart play from them. Because you've already got your heroes down here, it's a good lane, it's one of the boss lanes, and you know, you've got a lot of kill pressure. You've got a taunt variant, and you have a taunt variant coming out onto Greymane. Not able to get enough follow-up necessarily, although Orphan comes in, does get the ult, and that is going to be Greymane falling. Backing out through this little bottom path, and you're going to have to get nice and healthy before they try to push in any further.
Well, Stukov's got good healing overall as far as his top-up healings go, although that orb build Ming going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to deal with. Night Knight gets taunted behind the lines. John Goodman gets a nice 4-man slide. Face melt to knock him away, but does not stop the fort from going down.
You know, I hadn't considered it before, but would it be fair to say that Parry and Varian got a buff with the current Nexus anomaly because he can ignore a couple of tower shots?
Does the armor debuff still apply if he's protected?
Yes, he's protected, not invulnerable or unstoppable. But he doesn't take the damage from it, obviously.
Yeah. It's very minor. John Goodman gets a slide into Light Bomb combo. Chastise, ooh, just barely misses the hit onto D-Wit. Led is going to go ahead and drop the Flailing Swipe and put the hand up to end this fight.
Yep, but that is going to be all the forts down, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and position around bot boss as soon as they see their opponents in the top lane, which they're seeing now. I would expect them to be on boss. We do have Varian there. Stukov did back all the way, but they see everyone in top lane, so they feel safe enough to go ahead and take this even down their healer.
Yep, that is a fair point. Leo gonna ahead and be doing the warding action. There is a little lack of DPS because Orphea has really poor boss damage overall, but you know, if the other team stays in top lane, like I Must Feed has done, opted to soak up the map a little bit, it'll allow Zul'jin Distillery to grab the boss. Easy peasy.
So, talking before like we were about Anduin's level 13s, we do have Enchant Boots Lion Speed, which in addition to giving you constant 5% move speed, which goes up to 20% if your D is on cooldown, off cooldown. It also gives you your the recipient of your D a little heal every time you actually pull someone with it.
Yep, that's that'll give him a little bit of health, maybe stop like a tick damage or prevent like an auto attack that's flying through the air from hitting him, but I feel like that's one of the weaker changes of the level 13s that Anduin has received.
True, but it's one of the, I think it's the most commonly chosen talent on that tier anyway, so it probably needed the least amount of help.
Fair enough. I'll agree with that.
It's still more than his basic heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not an insignificant heal. It's just it's an 80-second cooldown heals is the big part of that.
Yeah. Yep.
We do have Leo trying to take this camp, and checking his talents, he is spooky build at 13 to 16, so he does not have particularly good camp clear.
Yeah, that is true, but Imus Feed does not really know that he's there, and they're down level 16, so I don't think they can even risk pushing in unless they got some kind of information with that.
Which they get on it now, but it's a little bit too late for them to probably do anything, because Leo will be there before they can muster a 5-man offense for Imus Feed, and they've got Arthas split out trying to hit 16. Looks like this is just going to be an uncontested objective going in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. Varian tries to come in and make a very aggressive play. They do find some aggression. Nice pull coming out from Night Knight. Does leave Greymane high and dry, but does get, I believe that was John Goodman out of there. They did get the camp, but probably not worth it for the Greymane death. Although Zul'jin Distillery did lose the camp time for just a little bit, which isn't going to let...
so unfortunate.
It's not going to let Imus Feed actually try to recontest this, but it gives a little bit of time for Greymane to come back from the dead.
Yeah, I'm hitting the frames dropping right now.
I've been having that kind of badly too. You've actually left the game at this point.
Yeah, it just hard dropped for like 5 full seconds, and I know you get that on like some strange occasion, but that was the first time that's happened to me. That was kind of weird. But I think John Goodman went for the slide, kind of like that. Big Mosh actually come out. Led drops the flailing swipe though to interrupt it quickly. DeWitt takes a lot of damage as he's body blocked in. Entomb whiffs on most everybody. Miles is miles behind the enemy team. Oh, the slight counter synergy face smell into Light Bomb still lands on 2. Orphea trades out for Greymane. As the objective comes in, this is favoring Zul'jin Distillery even more as Leeming gets taken out. Sudden Bears is in a little bit of a trouble if they can get some CC. Taunt comes off cooldown, and that's 3 for 1 for Zul'jin Distillery.
Yeah, really well done by them. 16s did get picked up for Imus Feed during that time, but their opponents had it for a while, now already up to level 18. And they're doing some pretty good damage on a mid. Actually, a nice combo coming out on the ETC does get pulled out by Night Knight. But that is certainly going to be mid keep falling, top keep already falling, bot keep is in danger of falling and probably going to fall as well. However, Imus Feed are coming back up. They might be able to make a core defense here. It's maybe the weakest keep in the game after the Nexus anomaly, but it's still at half hit points. And big damage coming out on a Bifrost from that long-range orb. Bifrost is not quite going to go down, and that is going to be the core falling, and the 2-0 victory for Zul'jin Distillery.
All right. Well, I was just going to talk about how ETC stole Greymane's leap of faith, but then the game ended again, Ektar.
It sure
this keeps
did.
happening to us. So,
I wouldn't say it happened to us so much as it happened to Imus Feed.
that's a fair decision.
Wow. Look at the healing numbers coming, disparity between Stukov and Anduin there. Like,
yeah.
That's pretty massive.
That's a pretty large difference. That was a pretty one-sided series for Zul'jin Distillery, not gonna lie. I was promised a 2-1. I was promised a game 3, but...
You were not promised? I did imply it was probably going to be a closer series, I think, than it ended up being, though.
Yeah. Yep, so... Well played by Zul'jin Distillery. Really stepping it up here in NGS Season 9.
Yeah, definitely making a statement that they are one of the teams to beat this season.
Yeah, that was a very solid performance overall. Regardless. Looking to get an interview set up with DeWitt.
Or
Captain.
Designated representative.
Or representative. DeWitt is not in the office. Can I take a message?
My dogs have decided that now is the appropriate playtime.
Oh, of course. What better time? Hey, DeWitt. How's it going?
Hey. What's up?
Yeah, congratulations on your 2-0 win.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And well done using your privilege to directly join the casting lobby as opposed to meeting us in a different channel.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, moderator privilege right
I
there.
think anyone can join the caster one, can't they?
No, absolutely not. Those are semi-locked channels.
Ooh.
But DeWitt, our moderator, is that B?
B West.
B West. Thought so.
I'm glad you remember.
Yeah, I'm glad he remembers most.
Someone needs to.
That's fair. With as many fresh mods as we picked up this season, I genuinely forget sometimes who's where. Anywho, this is not a moderator interview. This is a captain's interview. So get your captain's hat on and tell us what you were thinking going into this series, knowing that in the previous season you did win, but it looked like a pretty close 2-1 last season.
Last NGS season?
Yes. I don't recall what happened between your two teams in your tournament.
You know, they did beat us 2-1 in ours, but I will say one of the games was kind of because it was on ARAM, and we got like one of the worst sets of heroes I've ever seen, but we won't go into that.
Reasonable.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always a really fun series with these guys, and I love playing against Corix. He wasn't in this game, but it's his team, and he's a ridiculously good scouter. So
he's
I hope they listen to him
now. So
I hope they listen to what he had to say on us, because he'd probably had us figured out.
So speaking of
always fun to play them.
Figuring you guys out, we're gonna talk a little bit about map number 1. Why Mephisto? I see him a lot, and I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, he had top damage, so.
I mean, sure, but that's
a mage.
No,
that's a mage being drafted. Your mage should generally be getting top damage. Why Mephisto among the mages?
I really like Durant, and his mobility is really good with Diablo for follow-up. And for what we were running, the AoE is extremely useful. So it was actually the Phoenix that was more flexible in that. But we liked the laser. We tried it out once, and we were like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Just shell out damage.
Yeah, and it worked really well for you guys. There was quite a lot of big ult combos and stuff with the Stay Wiles and the Apox and. You know,
Lead was on top of it.
Speaking of Lead and the Deckard Cain, he got buffed today. How much did the patch today impact your decisions going into the drafts of these games?
It didn't, but well, okay.
I did pick. You can't take a Tracer comp today.
Yeah, we were more comfortable with the Orphea, which is because of the patch. But other than that, the Deckard Lead likes the change to the what is it, Ruby, because you get it every cube now. So I liked it before. Now it's just better. Like, I don't know what they're doing, buffing it so much.
I'm not gonna.
But
complain.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, until Deckard's against you.
Nah.
So yeah, the patch didn't affect us too much, I don't feel like, except we like to dive under towers a bit, so I was happy to see they got a little bit nerfed.
Alright, so you had map pick for both of the games in this series. If you don't mind my asking, why Tomb of the Spider Queen and then why Alterac Pass?
Well, we have like 3 or 4 maps we really like, and they happen to ban out a couple of the ones, so I mean, we'll always pick Tomb. I think if you look back at our stats from like last season and stuff, we pick Tomb a lot. It's just a map we really like.
You heard it here first. D East banned Tomb against Zildjian Distillery.
I'm pretty sure every other team has, so I think it's well known.
Giving him the insider, not secrets here.
I feel at this point I can say whatever in an interview because our team's been here like 4 seasons, and
yeah, that's true. Your team has a lot of history that people can look up to find things about you.
Yeah. If you haven't scouted us already, then you're not going to listen to an interview.
That's fair. And then why Alterac Pass though? That's pretty far away from Tomb.
No idea. We already won with it on it twice this season. So we thought we might do it a third time. But this is the first time we picked it.
So, you heard it here first, D East, a completely arbitrary pick to go to Alterac Pass.
Yep.
Alright, I don't have any other hard-hitting questions for the interview tonight. Ace, do you have any other questions?
No, I do have a comment of nice wombo combo in game 1. That's a nice little, nice job you guys did with the sleep into APOC and don't touch anybody for almost 2 seconds while APOC went off. It was a nice little combo that came out.
Yeah, it was well executed and on multiple occasions, so we know it wasn't just a fluke.
Thanks, appreciate it.
So we'll throw it over to you for any shout-outs that you want to give.
Shout out to Nutcracker. Almost had to play this game. He's our 6th player. Didn't quite have to though. So that's shout out to the I Must Feed. I really like playing them. It's sometimes it's a lot closer, so but it's always fun either way. And then to Ripper for helping us with strats sometimes, and finally to you guys for taking the time to cast for us.
Oh, thank you so much, D-Whit.
Thank you.
And shout out to the recently reformed D and E chat.
Oh, praise.
Yeah. Good times incoming.
Alright.
Thanks, guys.
Be gone.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
As head mod, he can tell you to be gone.
Sure can.
And there he goes.
Yeah. And I'm going to look for a game for us to raid on over.